Happy 406 Montana Day from Leslie at Marvelous Art Studios. It's snowing like crazy outside. We've got another 6 or 7 inches, but inside things are blooming. And I wanted to show you some inspiration I had as I got the itch to do some painting and finally got going on it this morning. I began with a piece of white plain fabric. This is PFD fabric, which stands for Prepared for Dye. It's also great for painting. It just means it has a lot less surface treatment on it, so it takes the paint better. At least that's my very basic explanation of it. And I first stitched with a black thread. This is King Tut 40 weight thread. I did a free motion motif of what I am interpreting to be my apple blossom trees that I hope will be blooming within the next few months probably. But as long as they bloom, I don't care when they bloom. I just want to see them bloom, right? So here's some of the paints that I used. Some of from the sampler pack that I showed yesterday. Pearl Magenta, one of my favorite colors. Who doesn't love pink, especially magenta pink. Halo Pink Gold, which is a pink with a gold finish on it, really quite pretty. Pearl Turquoise, and this emerald green over here to the far right for the leaves, because I mixed the two of them together. Then I used Violet Gold for some of the feather work in the quilting, just right up there. And you can see where I blended it a little bit with the green and or the rose gold, whatever kind of floated my boat at the moment. It's kind of serendipitous. So here are the brushes that I used, two of my basic painting brushes. These are cheapo. This is a square tip. I did a dry brush technique here with just dipped it in paint and brushed it dried right on. And then the brush that I showed yesterday, I painted most of the blossoms with this one. If you have a great big one, you could use a bigger brush. Great size for the small ones. And I just used the tip to do some of the daintier spaces and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of dainty spaces, but there's a few. Some of these, like the swirls, are dainty, you know, a narrow space, I guess you would say. And so just kind of had fun mixing this blue Silks acrylic glaze, which is something that I've had for a while. It's made for lots of different surfaces, and so I'll show you the back of it right there. It's brilliant shimmering semi-gloss acrylic paint glaze. I can't read, nor can I talk. Anyway, it's for paper, wood, fabric, clay, and more. So I love this product. I have a nice little collection of them, and I like to store them upside down, as I do with my Lumiere paints as well. Just helps keep them a little bit, I don't know if it keeps them drying out completely, but it does help slow down that process. So I do store them with the lids down, make sure the lids are tight. And otherwise, here's some detail work of some of my quilting that I did to begin with, and I just pick and chose the colors as I liked. I also, you probably can't see it maybe really good, see those little green sprinkles? That's just taking my brush and putting my fingernail across it, and I sparkled those, or sprinkled those, I guess you could say sparkle, because it's a fun technique. And I just kind of went all around this whole piece, just adds a little tiny bit of texture. It also would be a great way to hide any mistakes if you should have some. Perhaps like that little bit of blue right there, although I don't really consider that a serious mistake. I might go and add some more of those, actually. I like that depth of blue against the lighter blue sky, which is my inspiration for the background of the piece, because right now we're having mostly white skies. Very little hint of blue, but that's a pretty typical spring for us, so what a great way to start. Here's the leftover water. I wanted to show you this because it's just so pretty, and I would hate to waste it. It has all kinds of nice shimmery stuff in it. So this is what I'm going to do right here on camera. I've got just a simple, cheapo leftover paint bowl, which you can mix your paint in. I got some white. This is just a cotton sateen. You can see it's real nice shimmery. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to stir up my paint. And then I'm just going to take my fabric out of the bowl, take this little foam brush out, and I'm going to pour it right in here. See all that pretty shimmery goodness? And then I'm going to put my fabric in here, and I'm just going to let it get, I'm going to use my foam brush to kind of soak it down and let it start soaking up the color. That way my paint doesn't go to waste, and look at some of the beautiful colors you get. So normally I'd use my fingers. As you can see, my hands are in terrible shape from painting and winter dry weather. I'm not too good about putting lotion on half the time. But I'll continue to just kind of let that soak up, and I'll try and show you the results of that when it's all done. It's kind of fun. It should just kind of be a way to add some real soft color, and hopefully there'll be a little white showing through. So have a great day. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and happy spring. See you later.